Have you ever had that feeling, deep in your gut, that something is just wrong? A chill that has nothing to do with the temperature. A flicker in your peripheral vision that you can't quite explain. That's where our story begins. Not in some ancient haunted mansion, but in a place most of us call home. A modern apartment building. For a young woman named Clara, moving into apartment 129 was supposed to be a fresh start. New city, new job, new life. The apartment itself was perfect, spacious, great view, and affordable. Almost too good to be true. And as she would soon find out, it was. The first few weeks were normal. The usual sounds of a city apartment building, neighbors walking overhead, the distant wail of a siren, the hum of the refrigerator. But then, the subtle oddities began. It started with misplaced keys. Clara was meticulous, always leaving them in the small ceramic bowl by the door. Yet, she'd find them on the kitchen counter, or even on her nightstand. She brushed it off as stress, the mental fog of a new job. Then came the noises, a soft tapping on her bedroom window, 3 floors up. She'd look, but there was nothing there. Just the sprawling city lights against the dark sky. She told herself it was a branch, but there were no trees tall enough to reach her window. One evening, while cooking dinner, she heard a faint whisper. It was so soft, she thought she'd imagined it. Maybe a draft carrying a sound from the hallway. It was distinct, like someone saying her name, Clara. She froze, knife in hand, and listened. Silence. The only sound was the bubbling of the pasta on the stove. Her heart hammered against her ribs. She checked the peephole. The hallway was empty. She double-locked the door, her appetite gone. That night, she struggled to sleep, every creak of the building making her jump. Was she just being paranoid? Was the stress finally getting to her? The incidents grew more frequent and more unnerving. The tapping became a scratching sound, frantic and sharp against the glass. The whispers became clearer, sometimes seeming to come from right behind her. She started seeing things, too. A fleeting shadow darting past a doorway, a reflection in the darkened TV screen that wasn't hers. She'd spin around, but there was never anyone there. Her friends told her she was overtired. Her landlord assured her there had never been any complaints about the apartment before. She felt like she was losing her mind, isolated in her own home. The place that was supposed to be her sanctuary had become her prison, too. The breaking point came on a Tuesday night. Clara was in the shower when the bathroom lights flickered and went out, plunging her into darkness. She fumbled for the shower curtain, her heart pounding. And then she heard it. Not a whisper this time, but a clear, melodic humming. It was a child's tune, a lullaby, coming from inside the bathroom with her. It was close. Too close, she screamed, scrambling out of the shower, slipping on the wet floor. As her eyes adjusted to the dim light from the hallway, she saw it. A small, wet handprint, slowly appearing on the fogged-up bathroom mirror. It was the size of a child's hand, but she was alone. Completely and utterly alone. Terrified, Clara spent the night huddled in her car. The next day, she started digging. She has spent hours at the city archives, poring over old newspapers and public records related to the building's address. At first, nothing. Just property deeds and building permits. But then she found it. Tucked away in a microfiche from the late 1960s. A small article, a local tragedy. A family had lived in an apartment on the 3rd floor of the building that once stood where hers was now. A fire had broken out. The parents had made it out. But their 7-year-old daughter hadn't. Her name was Lily. Her body was found in the bathroom. Suddenly, everything clicked into place. The whispers, the humming of a lullaby, the small handprint on the mirror. It wasn't a malicious haunting. It was a lost, lonely child. Clara went back to the apartment one last time, but not with fear. She brought a small music box and a single white lily. Standing in the living room, she spoke into the silence. She said Lily's name. She said she was sorry for what happened, that she knew she was just lonely. As she spoke, the cold spot in the room seemed to dissipate. She wound up the music box, and its gentle melody filled the apartment. She left it playing on the windowsill, next to the flower. Clara moved out the next day. She never went back to apartment 129, but she never forgot about Lily. Sometimes, when she hears a child's lullaby, she wonders if the little girl ever found peace. The new tenants of apartment 129, a young couple, say it's a wonderful place, peace. They sometimes hear a faint, beautiful music box melody on the wind, but they just think it's a neighbor. They have no idea about the story that apartment holds, the story of a girl who just didn't want to be alone. Some places hold memories, and some memories are so strong they refuse to fade away. They just wait for someone to listen, too. This story is a reminder that not all strange occurrences have sinister origins. Sometimes, it's just a voice from the past, wanting to be heard. But what do you think?